Guys, Sunday. What are we looking at? We're going to be looking at the Man Mosh Pit from Surly. This is just like yesterday's, this is a hazy IPA. Weighs in at 7.2%, and they said an absurd dose of Amarillo, Citra, and Mosaic dry hopping hosts this IPA above the fray. Juicy and hazy. It's a perfect soundtrack to the little voices in Clyde's head. I know, it actually says that, Clyde. Freaked me out, too. It's a 4-pack. There are 4 big cans. And as you guys know, I love big cans. It's trying to satisfy the insatisfiable Jolson, but you know, I wanted to see some front and back, and can't really tell it. She's got the face that could probably scare the shit out of you. Seems to have a citrus smell, and the most of the aroma is more of a fresh hoppiness. Cheers, Mr. Holster. Yeah, I don't know. For me, finding that that Mosaic hop is like finding a fart in a smart car. Not real difficult. It's one of the first things I pick up on. That's why we'll see how long I actually like this. Because for me, I have I'm like John Solar's marriages. The hell was that? You know, it's really good, but just for a short amount of time. So, literally, well, not literally, just got back from the range. Smile money? No, I brought the camera with. I filmed some of Christine shooting, but it was me and Christine and David Brown and his bunkie. I don't know if he cares or not. Chris. I want to thank them for a really fun day. They joined us for the family breakfast that got moved to today because I didn't want to get screwed on my family time because I worked yesterday. Grant. I can't complain because pretty much the only way I'm going to be moving forward on some of my gun projects is above and beyond what would be normal. So that is what's making it happen. I think I shot it all today. You only live once, right? Yeah, I got pretty much everything that went out. I was watching I Carry One's video on a Wasser 10, and I broke everything down and cleaned it. It was, for the most part, a very successful range trip. The only rifle that went out is Christine wanted to bring Alicia, and she put, I think she put three mags through there, which is, that mag holds like an entire box of ammo, for God's sakes. So she shot that, had a great time. Really, I mean, the range is only 25 yards, but at 25 yards, she had only had 2 shots outside of a 10-inch circle. So, yeah, I'll try to not piss her off. Now, let's see the list of the fun factor today, because we went out to Dead On. Oh my God, I cannot say enough about the boys out at Dead On. Dusty and his brother. I'm sorry that I'm referring to Dusty and his brother. I just don't know if I've ever heard what your name is. But Dusty and his brother. Dusty is the manager, and the very first thing I asked him, and thank you, Jay Wolf. It's awesome when you have any shortcomings you have in your own skill set. stay out of the smile money. It's always nice when you have very smart friends. David Brown was having some issues with a 1911 that was hand-built for him, just so that nobody can say, David did it wrong. Smile money, shut up. David had a friend of his build him a 1911. Now, this was like one of his very first projects ever, so I hope he's doing better today. Long story short, David said that you'll see mine's a little harder to show you because it has an ambi, but the two pins, one of them is for the well, long story short, there's two pins right here, and they go in the gun this way, and they are kept from falling out by the big blade of the safety lever. Well, these pins were put in upside down, and they were here so they could easily walk out, because David doesn't have an ambi safety, he just has the left side. So I literally sent one picture to Jay Elite Ammunition, and I said, any ideas on why these pins are walking out? And he said, yeah, because they're in backwards. They're supposed to have been slid in left to right, not right to left. I'm like, yeah. So Dusty, we walk in and we buy our ammo and get our targets, and he literally just grabbed a tool, took the lower frame apart in that to get to those pins, and swapped them out and put it back together, and then adjusted the trigger and got all of the over travel out of it for David. And in something like 4 minutes, and on top of that, didn't charge anything. I was like, oh, so, well, since you looked at that trigger, hey, could you look at the trigger on my Kimber? And he said, it's not bad, but he's like, yeah, it could use a little work too. And he grabbed the gun and grabbed his tool and adjusted it for me. And then when we were out shooting, he happened to walk in and ask how everything was going, and he adjusted out the trigger on the Rock Island single stack and adjusted out the trigger on the Rock Island double stack for me. Thank you, Dusty. Just like I said, just an awesome place to walk into. You don't feel like just because they're working there that you're automatic. I mean, how many times have you been into businesses where you just feel like it's like these people feel more like the enemy, for lack of words, than they do. Instead, you walk through the door up at dead on, and you feel more like you've been friends with them your entire life. And I walk through the door, and Dusty's like, "Hey, Eric, how's it going today?" And it's like, "Hey, brought my friend Dave and his bunkie. This is the first time they're out here." And it's just like, first of all, they have a beautiful shop. I don't remember what it was, like $1 million worth of inventory. So you want just about anything, they have it out there, and it's just well laid out, beautifully lit, indoor range, gun shop, gunsmithing. Like I said, I thank you, Dusty, if you see this. I might just send him a link for the fun of it, just so he knows that how much me and David appreciate, just something like that. You would normally think, well, if you want, you can leave it here, and for $80, I'll take a look at it for you. Instead, no, he just grabs his tool, fixes it, and hands it back to David so you can shoot it, and then adjusts out 3 of my triggers for me to get them to right where they need to be. It's like, so awesome Awesome, thank you very much. So back to the gun collection. It was pretty much a 9 and a 10 day. The only reason that I brought my only reason the Kimber was even with is because I thought maybe Samantha would go with us, and this is her favorite thing to shoot. And that was the only reason that it was with. I hadn't planned on shooting it because I just wanted to buy 2 calibers worth of ammunition and not a whole bunch. And then after Dusty adjusted the trigger out for me, I was like, okay, now I got to shoot it. I have to see. So I bought a box of 45. So the Kimber, the Grand Power, and I have to say I was honestly shocked. Christine likes shooting this more than the Rock Island single stack. I don't know, I guess maybe her hand size or whatever, but then again, to be totally honest, you know, it's a 10 millimeter, but that rotating barrel, it honestly feels more like you're shooting a 40 cal or a plus P9 in comparison to the normal 10. The way that the uniqueness of the barrel rotating in it uses up the energy different. As you see, the barrel doesn't tilt down like typical. I mean, Beretta has some stuff out there that has the rotating barrel. I'm not real familiar with how many other places do, but she likes shooting this over the Rock Island. So since I just mentioned it, the Rock Island single stack, David's favorite of my collection to shoot. I think, David, you should get one. The Rock Island double stack, and it was really nice since how I had so many problems with this. Rich, thank you. Evidently the bugs are all worked out. This performed flawlessly. Christine's HK P30. This is, I have to honestly say, if this was mine and not hers, I would probably carry the shit out of this. It is a very accurate, very nice shooting gun. And if you looked at the slide inside of this, kind of like the Grand Power, they pretty much removed any metal from the inside of this that didn't have to be there to reduce the weight of the gun. I don't notice much more. I'm not noticing. The negative would be is muzzle rise because you removed all that extra mass, but you don't get it in this. Really nice gun. Like this one. She wanted this because of the John Wick movie. Next is Christine's Baby. Of course, I just got clean, so Christine's Baby. No pun intended. The Baby Eagle chambered, the all steel Baby Eagle chambered in 9mm, and I don't think this has ever had a trigger job done to it, but if it had, it wouldn't surprise me at all. This thing, of everything I shot today, yeah, I think I shot an even tighter grouping with this than I did the Kimber. This thing is honestly a frickin' tack driver. Ask David. I had a target of a bad guy wearing a red mask, so you could just see his 2 black eyes, and he was holding a knife. And I completely shot out the left eye. I had no flyers even. This thing is just a tack driver. And just as a kind of a comparison, I brought the polymer version, and that's the Jericho, the 941. This was actually an Israeli officer trade-in gun. Again, these guns are just such a pleasure to shoot. The bore axis is lowered. You don't have as much, you don't have as much slide maybe to get your hands on. If it's a freshly clean gun like this, and it starts to rain and whatever, sometimes it can be a little slippery. Some people bitch about that, but because of the slide being set down so much farther into the frame than most guns. They're just very, very accurate, very reliable guns. For the most part, this is like that guy, except for it's a polymer lower, and it's still, I mean, then again, if it was any kind of military or police trade-in, there's a good chance that it's really never been used anyway. And then, because I've been carrying it a little bit and trying to get more used to it and wanted to figure out where it was hitting, I've been carrying the Smith & Wesson 1066. Now, I had that disassembled and cleaned, and then when the boys were here from New York, it's getting a little dry down here. We brought that gun out, and I don't know how many mags we put through it. It got used quite a bit that day, and it never had a single hiccup. We were questioning its trigger and where the hell it was hitting, kind of a thing. But I don't like the trigger in it. But then again, I was comparing it with the 1006, and that has had one sweet ass trigger job done on it. So I brought it out today just because I wanted to put 4 or 6 mags through it and get an idea of kind of where it's hitting, more of a defensive scenario, and not shooting at 25 frickin' yards of just a steel plate and either hear it ding or you didn't. And I started having a failure to extract. It was almost like the extractor slipped off of the round, left it 3/4 of the way in the chamber, and then the next round just got pinned up underneath it, and the slide locks back. And I left it. I cleared it. I shot it 2 more times. It did the same thing. Cleared it, shot it, did the same thing. Cleared it, shot it like 4 times, and then it did the exact same thing. And I showed it to Dusty because I told earlier that same day, I showed it to Dusty and I said, I'm not sure as of this moment in time, but I might leave this with you. I'd like you to go through it, make sure everything's right, and tell me what you think of this trigger. And he's like, I go, yeah, can you fix that? He go, yes. So brought it out after we were done shooting, and I showed it. I left it in the fail, and he's like, looks like there's this gunk and shit on your on the extractor. He's like, I'll just do a thorough ultrasonic cleaning and go through everything and make sure everything's fine. I'll do a trigger job on it. And I told him, I said, hey, when you have it all apart, if that magazine disconnect by accidentally falls out, just kick that under the bench. And he's like, so he told me it probably, he's pretty busy right now, but he's going to try to get that back to me within the next couple of weeks. So I am full in trying out a new gunsmith. I've had too many disappointments lately. I should not get a gun back. I should not have a gun at a gunsmith for almost 2 years. So Dusty, I am going to send you this. He has a very nice gunsmithing area. It's clean. It's well lit. They've got the tools. They just recently purchased a laser. So if you have something that you want on, they can laser stimple any polymer lower style gun. They have all sorts of patterns that they can do. Seriously, I'll put a link down below to Dead On. He thought they had the stuff up for the stimpling. It honestly looked impressive. If you're telling me that you can just set your firearm down inside of something, and for, I think it was like 100 and something, it wasn't much to have the work done. I was pretty freaking happy. I know you're getting glare. That there, I thought that was sweet. There's like and there's a different pattern. there's no reason to do like the peel and stick grips anymore. I know the glare sucks ass. This one I thought was really cool too. The Predator head. This one, it almost looks like the gun is like just like falling apart, but it's a skull. It's a skull in there. There you go. Now you can see it. I was impressed. So thanks to the, I mean, granted, if you have to actually ship them your gun, now you're dealing with the shipping or whatever, but maybe you can't get it done in your area. If you want to have something unique done to, and they can also laser engrave or laser etch steel. You could, you know, it brought up all sorts of things now because being able to do, say, hashtag Be Like Ed, hashtag Justin's Final Mission, I now can have them, I can have them, Christopher, Sonoran Desert Prepper, I can have them do the same kind of stuff that you showed me and have them do some custom mags. So, just honestly, it was a fantastic day. It was frickin' raining like crazy here today, and what a better time than to get out with good friends and go shooting, eat, and then go shooting. I will take one immediate thing and say that the New Belgian hazy IPA that Grant gave me yesterday was definitely better than this. Just as like a daily drinker, you know, for the chance to try something and go, hey, yeah, okay, I got 3 more cans of that, you know, maybe I'll have them tomorrow or the next day or, you know, whatever. It's an IPA, so I should probably go in and get it where she's fresh, but no, the New Belgian, I thought as far as a daily drinker, Grant, I can see why you became immediately attached to it. Let's get on some comments. Mr. Holster was first. Multi-Gunman was second, saying not first. Clyde was third, saying third, Revolution. Mr. Holster says a minute 30, much improved. Crazy Scott, the sub-comments. Crazy Scotsman says maybe someday he'll be under 30 seconds, but highly doubtful, but maybe. Mr. Holster says, back to Crazy Scotsman, what have you been smoking? I know there is at least a few of them out there that were less than 30 seconds because I turned the camera on, opened the beer, and started drinking it. So I know I have some out there. One of my you know, I know you watch the brew reviews, but evidently you haven't commented in a while, but one of my friends who also has my phone number made a comment that he's like, Jesus Christ, is your air conditioner broken? I'm like, why? And he's like, you look like you're sweating your ass off. Well, I don't know, maybe I was like sweating earlier, or maybe I'm just greasy, you know. I had to fire my fucking makeup lady, okay? It was funny because the day that he made the comment, is your air conditioner broken? No, the air conditioner isn't broken. The air conditioners, I have window air conditioners, and they're actually both laying down here in the basement because today I could almost turn the heat on, and the day he made the comment, hey, something wrong with your air conditioning? I could have had the heat on. Hey Google, what's the temperature right now?
The current temperature in Duluth is 51.
Yeah, so, you know. $10 says my buddy Greg's got his furnace on right now. Ooh, God, there's a whole load of greasiness that just popped out. Yeah, I know there's nothing good about it. Johnny Concho, not the first to say not the first to say not the first. Laugh out loud. Matt Davis, What was that you said? Was that what a 38 sounds like? All I hear is ringing. Laugh out loud. Yeah, that's a big ass blank. You know, it's one thing when I goof off with the 22 blanks, but it's you're talking from those to these. So yeah, that's consider. I could stick a few 22 shells right in there. Yeah, I'm guessing if I even did this, I'd want to. Oh, I should probably move that. I just noticed I have like an odd box of ammo for an odd rifle in an odd location, which means if I actually could figure out how to fix the odd rifle and get the magazine to stay in it, I'd be like, what did I do with the ammo? Because even though right now it's in a Captain Obvious spot, I am the leading expert on hiding shit from myself. I shit you not. J-Dog, here at work. J-Dog. Stalker Steve, here. There's a frickin' miracle. JR10, Desert Gold, sorry for your loss. I, for one, know exactly how you feel. They are family. Yes, sir, they are. Just about 5 months ago, my daughter's dog, Sandy, was in her final stages of a similar cancer battle. One night my wife sat down on the floor next to her to be with her when Sandy got up, crawled into my wife's lap, and passed away then and there in my wife's arms. It still hurts. Yeah, that little shit. I mean, I know there's people out there that, maybe even my oldest daughter. There's no differentiating between how she feels about her pets and how she would feel about an actual child. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that, because I'm not gonna lie, I've been hurting. I've been watching poor Shelby just to basically be a shell of herself. I mean, how long ago you guys know more than anybody. How many times did you hear Shelby come down the stairs? I'd share some beer with her. She'd maybe lay down here, got bored with me, and went back upstairs. And in the last 6 months, it's just she was just attacked by the C word. I mean, her back and her hips, and I think everything was all tied together. I really love and can't say enough about the video that Christopher did, but one of the last still shots, laying by that blue mat, that was the last picture ever. Christine took that picture while we were at the vet's waiting for Samantha to get there so that we could all be there when she was put to sleep. So I know people that have lost children, and it has to honestly be just there is nothing that I can imagine being worse. As a parent, we want to step out long before anything like that happens. But our animals, I mean, I was having this conversation with Eric C. He's like, I don't even know what to say. He goes, I don't know, I could not lose my buddy. And, you know, the only good thing about all this is I would not have wanted to take the selfish direction and have them start injecting her with some shit just so that I could have some more time with her while she continued to suffer. I mean, she couldn't even, it was a struggle just for her. Granted, if we had carpeting instead of hardwood floors, she could almost not even stand up anymore. She'd try to walk and she would have to catch herself. And yet, you know, she's a dog and she's stubborn and maybe they deal with pain a lot different. She would still get down the stairs. Getting up the stairs had turned into something completely different. But I just wasn't lying when I said when we went to go to the vet, I didn't envision in my brain that I was, you know, Shelby finally got to, you know, it's been a while since we've taken her out on a car ride. She finally got to go on a freaking car ride, and we brought her to put her down. And I realize I'm not really old per se, but I just both of us just don't know if we want to do another dog. The goddamn loss is it hurts. It hurts to deal with it. J-Dog, July 4th, let the 38 blank off outside. Possibly. Smile Money Top 10 as I checked during my middle of the night piss break. Back in the morning. I as you guys know, because you get hearted, by the time I got this done, it was time for Christine's show, which actually, that was another one that was a lot of fun. I actually sat in the backyard with Mike and my other neighbor and friend Miles, and we smoked cigars and sat around the fire pit and drank Oberon. I probably don't even want to go look at what's left because Mike likes shit beer and Miles' taste isn't that much better. And both of them absolutely loved the Oberon. The thing for Mike, though, is Mike usually drinks like shit beer from the grocery store or the convenience store, so it's all like 3.2, and I'm handing him 5 point whatever the Oberon is, almost 6%ers. So he texted me this morning. He goes, "God, I got a little fucked up last night." Well, you didn't drive anywhere. Actually, at one point in time, he wanted to know who was the most sober because he needed cigarettes, and both of us just looked at him and said, "You're on your own on this." And he, I know, for the legalities, it's the same outcome. But he actually took my bike and ran down to the convenience store, which is only like a few blocks on the same side of the street. So I think he went the whole way in the alley too. At the time, though, here's the thing. It's like the piece of shit known as his soon-to-be ex-wife always accused him of overindulging, and I've known him now for more than 10 years, and I have never even seen him slur his words. So I think he needs to go pro or try harder or something. Fuck it, pussy, alcoholic, shit. He isn't even ready for the Olympics. Gunwild, not first, but somewhere around 9th. Gunwild, Jolson's cack seems to be gazing at your cack. Must be half a fag. Oh, by the way, anybody that has been looking for said cack, I decided to step the game up a little bit. I know I know I got to cheat a little bit, but if we're talking about a small area, and as is, I see the camera's already moved, so you actually get to see the gas line that runs to the boiler. Yeah, the shit. Everybody that's down here goes, Jesus Christ, it looks bigger. No, it's not. J-Dog will tell you it's not fucking big at all. J-Dog actually hits the ceiling, let alone right here. You can actually see the probably, I'm guessing, asbestos covered, see which one is that. That is the return line from my, no, that's the main, the water goes this way on this one and goes this way on this one. Yeah, who gives a fuck, right? Yeah, so J-Dog, thankfully for J-Dog, this one has insulation. Unfortunately for J-Dog, he hits this light, this bell, welcome to Ireland sign. Yeah, it's not a big area. I mean, we're talking about, you know, it's like 6 feet by whatever. It's not really big at all. So, and I have to like hide my cack from you. So yes, the cack is in play. Anybody that finds it this time, either A, you're really, really good, or B, what the fuck is wrong with you? You need to get a life. Yeah. Yeah, Grant, I really wish now, when I was shopping yesterday, and decided that if Grant tells me one of his favorite beers was Two Hearted Ale, and then he found this juicy hazy IPA from New Belgium, and it's taken the top spot, I gotta get me some of that. God, everybody had to get me some of that. Oh, and moving forward, anytime somebody, see, now dealing with you guys is going to be a completely different scenario, so it might not get as much use. But David Brown and Bunky, I know, every time I say Bunky, I'm actually touching her ass. David probably will like that. I'm not sure Bunky will. They wanted to add to the because I was explaining to them that about every 3 years since I've been on YouTube, I have to go through, because my workbench goes from 30 inches of workspace to about 6, because you guys are so gracious and you send me things and I put it on display, and I can't possibly thank people enough. I mean, I've got the Joey, and I've got stuff from Johnny Concho, and Big Jeff, and the Real Cobra Burnout, and Bill, Mr. 45 Bullet, and a beautiful knife that was handmade for me from Aaron, and I got lighters, yes, shockers, I got freaking lighters up the ass from Tardisius. My most prized lighter is the all brass Star Trek emblem one right there. I've got well, let me double check before I make this comment. There's two things on this ledge right now that are actually mine. This RC airplane engine from my childhood came off of one of my airplanes, and my Y2K bug that my girls made in 1999. 1999. I got a pin from Mr. Holster. I've got the Trump giving the fucking finger, except he's got a 9mm. I've got just, you know, Gun Wild 1's, the bottle opener, and all these Gun Wild 1 bottle openers and stuff from Ed and ATF Sucks and, excuse me, Sharky's wife, Jeremy and Caitlin, and it looks like a prop, but it's actually a fully functional 1911. I just have to go through every now and then. I got to clear it all off, and I've got a bin. I've got a bin over here representing under my stairs, filled with stuff that I don't have the space for, but there's no way I'm getting rid of it. I was telling David Brown I'd like to build a shelf or something somewhere and put all of the stuff ever sent to me up on display. You know, I do it in the Star Trek room, but that's the Star Trek room. Okay. I don't know how I got on that dissertation. The Crazy Scotsman intro brew babe top notch. Thank you, I tried my best. Crazy Scotsman, sorry to hear about Shelby. Missed for sure. Yes, and you got to meet her. It was, like I said, everybody's dogs are great. That's because dogs are great. But that little shit, I used to, I'm sure she got pissed hearing this all the time. I used to say that Shelby's the second best dog we ever had. Dax was the best. Dax was incredible. Dax was the most thinking animal. Dax was super ass smart, and she was happy to show you. I mean, she could do, she's just an incredible dog. That she was able to, if there was a challenge, that would work. She could work it out like a robot in her brain. I mean, just like I told you one time, a friend of mine built one of those doggy agility courses, and he was trying to show me how his $3,000 German short hair or whatever that had been christened by the Pope could do this agility course, and fucking dog never even made it to the first part. I've never done anything like this with Dax. I could talk to her like I'm talking to you and not even think about it. I mean, one of the very first times she drops her ball at my feet, and as I angle, she keeps angling herself to put her between me and where she thinks I'm going to kick it. But she's too close, and I know if I kick it, she's going to get it right away, and I want to be able to kick it so that she doesn't get it, so that she leaves me the hell alone for a couple of seconds, and I just never even thought about it. I went, back up, and she goes, back up more? And she just literally walked backwards, and I was like, holy shit. So she's definitely the most thinking Jack Russell dog, but she's a Jack Russell Terrier like Shelby. Just the most thinking animal. Just incredible for what she perplexed me at what this dog. I mean, if she started talking to me one day like Einstein, I wouldn't have actually been surprised. Shelby's thing is I actually think Shelby was smarter than Dax, except for Shelby knew how to play the game. I am not even shitting you. There's probably a few of you, maybe Johnny Watson, Joey, Johnny Watson, maybe Jim, had actually seen this. You would be sitting and eating pizza, and you'd look down, and she'd be sitting at your feet looking up at you. Like, please, sir, can I have some more? But if you didn't give her anything for a while, and you'd look down, she would actually start to tear up like she was crying. Like she was just suffering because you weren't giving her any pizza. And it actually got to the point where I'm like, are you fucking crying? Are you crying because I won't give you any pizza? And then it just got worse, and I was like, oh my god, this dog is just like Dax. Dax could figure out how to get anything she wanted, and so could Shelby. Except for Shelby played the sympathy card like no other animal. Just that, and she was Shelby was definitely more of a lover than any dog I've ever had. What really surprised me, though, is that neither Shelby or Dax were lap dogs. It's always bad when you have a big dog and they want to be a lap dog. It's okay when you got a small dog and they want to be a lap dog, but no. The only time either of those animals ever wanted to be in my lap is while I was driving, and somewhat that kind of drives me crazy. I'm supposed to be in control of the car. Go sit over there. Have your own goddamn window. Okay. Yeah, I will never be willing to not talk about Shelby. Gun Wild 1. Imagine if Jimi Hendrix's song was called Juicy Haze instead of Purple Haze. I don't know where I'm going with this. Tardisius. Rest in peace, Shelby. I've heard all dogs go to heaven. Caldwell. Well, how can I not? Oh, I know where I was going and got completely sidetracked. I'm sorry. Is items. Items. David and Bunky got me this. So, in the event that a questionable comment comes up, let me read ahead and see if there's any of that. Meat on the thong, old school training at its best. Meat on the thong, old school training at its best. That was from the Crazy Scotsman. I guess that doesn't work with the Crazy Scotsman. More cowbell from Christine. Laugh out loud. Crazy Scotsman, basement pop, do it. Okay, I'm going to use this for this one.
You fake news. Listen, you fake news. You fake news. Fake news. Fake news. Fake news. Come on, you are fake news. Okay, you fake news. Fake news. Listen, you're being rude. You fake news. You fake news. Stop being rude. You fake news. That is such fake news. You fake news.
Crazy Scotsman, whiskey. Crazy Scotsman, I love the 454. Hell of a round. You have nothing to worry about, brother. Well, I'm not worried. Scotsman, if I was worried, I wouldn't have sent you one of my favorite firearms, chambered in possibly. I love the 10mm. Don't get me wrong. Now, if we're talking about end of days kind of shit, and I can have a magical ammo genie give me a lifetime supply of one round, and I know I'm going to need to carry that gun, defend myself. I'm either going to need it to put down people, animals for food, defensive kind of, because, I just wouldn't go around just popping people. And it's the 10mm. I know this was not going to come as a shock to you. My personal life goal is to own at least one copy of everything ever made that fires the 10mm round, period. Now, the fun factor of all of the stuff that I have, the hands down my favorite round in the fun factor, leaving all that rest of that shit aside, EDC, game, whatever, is the 454 Casull. I enjoy shooting that revolver more than I enjoy shooting the Desert Eagle. Now, it's a very close comparison. If on the scale of boner, the Casull is pulling a full 10, the Desert Eagle is about a 9.99. But I have to give the nod to the 454 Casull. I think that round is a more potent round than the 50 cal, the 50 AE. Sorry, if you disagree with me, that's fine. Maybe if I shot a 50 AE revolver, I might, because the Desert Eagle is a big goddamn heavy gun, and when you pull the trigger, it really doesn't have the recoil excitement that the 454 Casull revolver has. That's all I'm saying. For the fun factor, enjoyment, accuracy, blowing shit the fuck up, the 454, when you put, you get the Hornady XTP bullet projectiles on Mikey's loads for me in the 454 Casull, and you're shooting fruit or water jugs or whatever, it's just the giggle factors. I mean, yeah, the 50 AE, right in there. But I just love that round. Now, having said that, you guys need to get together. Everybody, kind of like Samantha hits me up and says, hey, if 100 of your friends all were willing to send me $26, I could get one of those Honda Groms or whatever, that thing. She absolutely wants one of those. Now, if you guys all got together, I would love that Desert Eagle chambered in 4570. I would shoot the fuck out of that. That thing is just looking at it going, that's one of the biggest rifle cartridges, and you have a revolver in it. Yes. Actually, it's not even that. It's not even an expensive gun, actually. I mean, yeah, it's more money than I have right now, but it's not like holy shit. It's I would say that if I own the 4570 revolver, in 1 year of having fun with that gun, I'd probably spend about as much in ammo as he paid for the said gun. And my choices on alcohol are a little bit more narrowed down, because the other night for Blog Radio and leading up to Blog Radio, I thought I did okay. I did a lot better than Jim did. Oh, sorry, Sharky's wife. I brought the bottle of whiskey upstairs. That awesome bottle of bourbon that New York Half-Ass Prepper brought. I was drinking that. Again, just for the fun of it, I tried doing a Sprite and that, and I'm sorry, Scotch just does not work as a mix. You just need to put it in a goddamn glass and enjoy it like it is, which is what I ended up doing. I mean, I didn't let it go to waste. I finished it, and then I just neat little shot of water. But Scotsman, oh, there's that ass whistle fire water juice shit that NIHAP sent, but I think going in for the bottle that can be replaced, unlike the one from Mr. Holster. Oh, all the shot glasses are under Alicia. And we're going with the Gooseberry Fall shot glass that I got from these groovy kids. Scotsman. Don't worry. Scotsman, I'm not worried. Did I even read the comment? I love the... yeah, I read it. Nothing to worry about. No, Scotsman, you don't understand. With you, there's honestly nothing I'm worried about. Like I said, I hope while you have it, you have the opportunity to have some fun with it. It's a badass revolver. I know some people knock Taurus. You know, no, Taurus is not Smith & Wesson. But I would not trade my Raging Bull for... I would maybe add another 454 Casull, but I get ribbed all the time by a JR10. I do not like the way the Ruger... I just don't like the way the Ruger looks. I think the Raging Bull is just some futuristic looking badass gun. And yeah, I've got some pussy ports, bitch. We'll leave that right there. Yeah, the beacon bottle is upstairs yet. Okay. See, this is all on me. I'm sorry. I'm just chatty right now. We're coming up on an hour, and there was only like 66 views of this when we started. Evidently, everybody's really busy this weekend. Crazy Scotsman, Two Hearted Ale seems to be disappearing from a lot of my local stores. Not sure what's going on, but at least one store still has a couple bucks more, but worth it. Hashtag be like Ed. Oh yeah. Scotsman, you know, if I have to run you some, I can. I need I need to get some 200 ale out to Jim. Jim cannot get it in Florida. Oh, modification. I told you that I wasn't happy. Aesthetically, okay, I'll go on record, and not that I care if Odinworks is listening or not, but I'll go on record as saying that Odinworks breaks, they're not effective like some of them on the market, but they do work. And their one claim to fame is you don't have to have the crush washer. You don't have to worry about timing. You just simply screw this stage on until it comes to a stop, and then you position that up. Or if you want, you can position that a little bit raked to the side so that the pressure, most of when you fire, you go up and to the right. And if you can use this to counter it out, but my brain, it doesn't work like that. It has to be fucking straight. I'm sorry, I can't have it look like I screwed it up. It has to be perfectly in line. So then you screw this on and tighten it, and then you can tighten these set screws. These set screws, I think, are made out of fucking aluminum foil, and the first time when I was putting this on the rifle, I think one of them started to strip and I just stopped, which meant when I went to take it apart, one of them started to, I eventually just put the wrench on it and turned the goddamn thing off. I don't like that design. So, that is chambered in 30 cal. And I told you I have the Palmetto State. This was the first Palmetto State. This was the one that was the bad child. And my gunsmith Bill took a whack at it, couldn't get it to run right, and it went back to Palmetto State, and they ended up basically just sending an entirely new upper. So this I call, and some people, JR10, would argue with me, I call it my close quarters combat badass gun. And I told you that I wasn't happy with that break, and I bought one, and when it showed up, I must have clicked the wrong button, and it was just like the one that's on Christine's rifle, but in 30 cal, but it was black, a 3-gil. Well, I was looking around and I found this one, and I thought when you combine it with the silver barrel, I thought it looked kind of sexy. And what makes it kind of unique is they have built this to compensate for the rifle pushing up and to the right. If you look at the top of it, it actually has a small port on your left side and a big port on the right side. So I haven't shot this yet, but as it wants to rise up, that should push it back down and hold it flat. And this company is kind of cool. It didn't say anything about it. It kind of has the look of the style that is made to be a brake, and then you can screw a suppressor on, but it's not threaded for that. But they sent a black crush washer, they sent a silver crush washer, and they sent a silver jam nut. And I used the silver jam nut because the crush washer had to go 3/4 of the way around, and I just didn't want to have to deal with that. So I used the jam nut. I think it disappears as good of anything. If not, it looks like part of the brake. But with the silver barrel and that, I think it looks pretty kick-ass. And I got, because I'm considering this more of a close quarters combat, a heavy hitter for, this is probably still would be effective to 300 plus yards as just a dot, but this is just like a close, yeah, I know that the military and the police have stuff. I'm not saying that this is what this is for. It could be bad guys, thinking that they can just throw on a vest that they bought off of Amazon. But go ahead and collect yourself after I hit you in the chest with this, and then I'll put one between your eyes. So this is more of closer kind of stuff, not the 1,000 yards kind of stuff. And I kind of like the way that looked. I like the way that looks a lot more than the Odin Works one on there. So I'm gonna get this out and shoot it and see how that break works. Yeah, I could have had John Huber make me something, but it's one thing when I'm building something purpose-built, and it's another thing when you just have a vision in your brain, aesthetically, how you want something to look. And John, I'm sorry, but there's, Paul, Hazman 440 said, it's probably one hell of a break, but it kind of looks fugly. It's a square break. It's built to do what it was supposed to do and do it better than anybody else's. It needed to be a square one to have that all work out. If you started to spin that in a lathe and make it round and make it match the barrel and the handguard, and see, that's why it works so great on my AR pistol. Because the AR pistol is that quad rail, and it's kind of square, and then you don't see any round barrel, you just see John's brake sticking out the end. And the way that my AR pistol works, I'm never going to take that brake off of there. It made that pistol a completely different world for the shooter. As a watcher, good luck. Yeah, Scotsman. More hickish equals whiskey. Jesus, Scotsman. Scotsman Joey makes videos? Question mark. Shut the fuck up, Joey. Yeah. He just made one showing off his brand new Smith & Wesson 610. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I want a 610. I mean, I'd be more than happy with the brand new one. I was actually kind of surprised. You can get a brand new one for about half the price if you want to go try a vintage one. I'm not exactly sure what has happened to the market with the vintage ones now that Smith & Wesson reintroduced it. Again, it fires the 10mm round. I don't need to proceed with why I want it. I am more than a 10mm fanboy.
Listen, you fake news. You fake news.
Oh, shut up. Crazy Scotsman. Edger means Ed would prefer, of course, his Two-Hearted Ale. Glad you have the matching glass. Oh yeah, we'll be moving on to the Two-Hearted Ale Club, and I will be using the appropriate glass. Crazy Scotsman, always here for you, brother. Shelby was an awesome member of the family. Hashtag Shelby rocked. Yeah, it's again, Christ. Even when Alone with Company, he showed up with his little demon dog. I got bit in the ass. What an asshole! I'm like bending over, and fucking Christopher goes, "Bite him in the ass." Well, I'm sure glad your dog listens to every single one of your commands. Actually, his dog is I don't even, Christopher, I'm just going to tell you this right now. I don't have the collection of pictures and video like you were able to come up with for Shelby for your little tyrant. So I would never be able to do the justice. But Christopher, you are going to be a fucking wreck the day you lose your dog. Because you guys, I mean, I just know how Christopher is. If he had some bitch walk up to him and she was like absolutely stunningly perfect, owned a Lamborghini dealership and sold cocaine, and she said it's either me or your dog, Christopher would say, "Get the fuck out, bitch." Crazy Scotsman, Chris did an awesome job. Memorial forever captured. Yeah, his yeah. I still haven't even left a comment. I don't even know what even comment to leave. I mean, Chris, your video for Shelby was over the top, and you wouldn't even believe how many times I've watched it. Blue Thunder 40, Jerry, sorry bro, she was a great dog. Jerry, one of my absolute favorite pictures ever was when Shelby jumped into the car with you, and I was standing at the driver's door and took the picture, and Jerry's looking at Shelby, and Shelby's she almost looks like she's winking or something. It's like, dude, let's go, you know? It's just, Jerry, that is just such a freaking awesome picture. Rich Fumestru 12, cheers, brother. Looks like a major deliciousness over here. Thank you, Rich. Smile Money. IPAs, what an envision ground up grasshoppers would taste like. Cows would love them because it would remind them of their cud regurgitated from their four-chambered stomachs. Yummy. Don't wreck it for me. Smile Money. My first dog was on the operating table to remove her spleen, which we hoped was the limits of her cancer. We got a call when it was found to be more extensive. My wife and I rushed back to the vet and elected not to wake her from the anesthesia, and we held her as they put her to sleep. My condolences, Eric and Christine. Fuck. Sorry, Smile. Mr. Holster. I doubt Duluth would be the first place the commies would nuke. Most likely, they would keep it intact and use as a friendly home base. Possibly, you know, we do have one of the freshwater ports in the world, and we've got our Takaniti. Thanks, Smile Money. I'm so sorry to hear that. Unfortunately, the visual is too easy to come by. Mr. Holster, 5 days and no booze. Unbelievable. No, I didn't say there was no booze. There was just no review. Mr. Holster, above the EA is Jolson's bird. Well, above and behind. Joey, I know what you mean. I was supposed to have a contractors come and do the roof on my house last week, but the weather was so shitty that an open roof in the rain would really suck. Yeah, we made precautions. We've got, right now as it stands, the basement or / crawl space, that's done. The first floor is on. The floor on the second floor is on, and we built the main wall to go on the second floor. But we got to start tearing into the roof, and the weather forecast for tomorrow doesn't actually look all that good either. So, Mr. Holster, I was in the movie. I was in that movie. You were in the movie The Gauntlet. I was in that movie. One of the extras firing at Clint in the end of the movie. when they saw the house down, or when he rolls towards the end. So you're talking about when he rolls through town in the steel reinforced plated bus. Are you fucking serious? I want to start over. Mr. Holster says, I was in the movie, and I'm adding this, The Gauntlet. I was one of the extras firing at Clint Eastwood at the end of the movie. Going to Arizona State at the time. Can't stand Sandra Locke. Let me just, I don't even know what the rest of what he says. When you're somebody like Clint Eastwood, and I'm not saying that I'm participating in the full-fledged Pride thing this month. I mean, do what you want. I just disagree that you get a fucking month and like something more important like world peace and happiness and, you know, cow farts doesn't get more press time. But Sandra Locke, if I'm Clint Eastwood, I would never been caught with that woman. I thought she was unattractive. I thought her acting abilities were non-existent. She wasn't sexy. She wasn't attractive, and she'd never. And the best that they ever could make her look, she did nothing for me. Okay, let's see what Mr. Holster has to say. Can't stand Sandra Locke. She acts like about as good as she look. She acts as good as she looks. Sorry, Mrs. Sharkey. Why Clint was sleeping with her, Lord only knows. He could have done so much better. Amen. Hell, he could do better than her right now. Easily. Isn't she? I think she passed away or something, though. Hey, Google. Is Sandra Locke alive?
Sandra Locke died in Los Angeles, California on November 3rd, 2018.
What'd she die of?
The cause of death of Sandra Locke was cardiac arrest.
So she saw a picture of herself in a mirror and died of shock? Yeah, I know. You have no idea what I'm saying right now. Your ability to... Hey, Google. Your ability to grasp sarcasm sucks.
My apologies.
No. We don't
understand.
We don't need to talk about it.
Sorry, I'm not sure how to help. I'm still learning.
Hey, how about a blowjob?
My apologies. I don't understand.
You don't know what a blowjob is?
I don't understand.
What's the definition of a blowjob?
Here's the definition of blowjob. Vulgar slang. An act of oral sex performed on a man.
So you can't blow a woman?
My apologies. I don't understand.
Joey Cuz, yeah, figures Jolson's cock is at the perfect height for you to start docking under your computer. Shut up, Joey. Jack, Sock Show. What did you do? Finish the full beer in the last review and took you 5 days to sleep it off? Yeah. See, that sound... Let's just say that sound equals fuck you, Jack. Jolson, top 69 ladies. Jolson, we need more cowbell and shots. Jolson, sorry, I am not into BDSM. Please refrain from slamming my cack in the drawer. Okay, I'll try. Joey Cuz, that's the first time I've ever been commented that my lens was bigger than yours. Shit, I'm over here blushing now. Yeah. Yet you put up a eggplant. We all know what that means this month. Jolson, I don't know how much swimming one can do in a hot tub. Short Strokes. Joey, yeah, the camera was one of the last gifts my mother gave me. Of course, Joey, you know how we all feel about that. But I don't want to sound like I just have the feeling that at this moment in time, what your mother would have really liked is that you gave me that camera. And then you could sell your, what is it, a Grand Prix? You could sell your Grand Prix and get another one. As a matter of fact, if you sold your Grand Prix, you might have enough money to finish building your DeLorean. The end is near. How many comments we got? Oh, okay, well, we're close enough. Steven, Hops and Lead, you know, I'm all fine with people fucking whoever they want. You got a cock and love sucking cocks, cool. You do what makes you happy, but I'm sick of seeing a full month of supporting their decision. Where's the month to support gun rights? Showing awareness and support for defending yourself seems more important than bringing pride awareness to people who will never procreate the earth. Well, I've always said this, if we're friends, then we're friends. And if what I say offends you, then maybe we weren't friends. So I apologize now if you if what I say is too strong and we can't be friends anymore. But what Steve ends with right there, procreate. I know I've said this before, but in case you're a kind of a slow learner or whatever, God had this plan. And you see this particular instance right here, there's no lump or any kind of thing sticking down. That is known as the penis. I know. This is all free. You get what you pay for. What she has is called a vagina. I mean, you could look it up. I mean, if you have a Google thingy, you could probably ask her what it is and get a full definition of it. But what it's kind of like something like that. If you're as far as I'm concerned, if you're really lucky, it looks like like some frog lips, and it looks like you couldn't get a pin in there with a jackhammer. Perfect. Sometimes it looks like a gutted butterfly, and I'm not exactly sure what that's all about, but that's a whole side story. So she's got this just like an opening. It's like it's made for something to go in there. A little clue. So the guy shows up, and depending on if he's lucky or not, like if he's Irish, then forget about it. And so you take that and you put it in that area there, and you get like woo, and then 9 months later, she has a baby, and it's called the circle of life kind of a thing. And that happens when a man with a penis gets together with a female with a vagina, and life continues. Now, we are in the middle of a 30-day celebration of people that can't do that. So, far be it from me to judge. I just go, you do what you need to do, but I've always been kind of a thing where, you know, God had a plan, and you know, guys have a penis and girls have a vagina, and then we have more of us. So what if we had the gay pride country? They had their own island. That's like one and done, one generation, and then all of a sudden we can like make a really nice shooting range over there because the fucking place will be empty. And again, my neighbors over there, which is now where Michelle lives, and she's an awesome woman. They basically each got knocked up by a guy, and then decided that they hated guys, so they would just be. I can't even imagine what those two boys, what their life will be like growing up. This is how serial killers are created. Okay. Thank you, Steve. Stephen again, I was wondering why the battle box looked like a potato. You guys must have some really big fucking potatoes. Smile Money, I hope you had a good day shooting with David today. Other than 22 caliber ammo, I need to replenish my ammo stockpiles. The shooting addiction can be expensive. Did Christine post something? How the hell did you know? Oh, did I say I was going shooting with David? Oh, my bad. Sorry. Smile Money. Bulwark 1911, Heffy 67, Allerg 357, some of the many people that have just disappeared. Now Aunt Keck, where is he? Oh yeah. Well, Bulwark, I think Bulwark is still a watcher. I'm friends with the Bulwark 1911 on Facebook, and I'm telling you, he's still alive. As for Heffy 67, that's questionable. Alec 357, I have no fucking clue. And Ankek, where are you? Smile Money. So, Africans can only run fast because they're trained by cheetahs chasing them. Yeah, I'm sticking firm with that. I am not sure, but I would wager that might be a racist joke. No, it's not a joke. It's fact. The distant runner from Kenya are primarily from one tribe. So genetics, high elevation training, a low starch diet might be the reason, Mr. Grand Wizard. No, it's fucking cheetahs and a ribeye attached to his ass. Smile Money. Jolson's cock is really getting up close and personal with you. Grant, who gave me the Juicy Haze IPA. Ha! I did make it this far. Nice cap gun. I still love the 200 Ale, but I love the Juicy Haze too. Yes, I know. And I understand what you mean because that is a really good beer. I am definitely going to be trying to find that when they finally get it back in stock. Now, we are heading to...
Fake news. Fake news. Fake news.
The Two-Hearted Ale Club. And I have my Two-Hearted Ale glass from Clyde. I have my Two-Hearted Ale. What could possibly get any better than this? Nothing. Bam. Okay. First in is J-Dog saying he has 2 hearts, a glass of beer, and a club. Gunwild, is this the double Two-Hearted Ale Club? Cheers, bitches. No, I still can't find it. Clyde tells me that he bought a case of it. A fucking case of it. Meanwhile, the manager at my gun shop, Wow, it would be awesome. A gun shop that served, that you could buy beer at. The manager over at Super One Liquor still hasn't even heard of it. Smell money? It's 200 ale time. Damn, shake it off and get a drink on. Smell money. Oh, I missed that you are going to Dead On, so weather should not be ruined. Should not have ruined the shooting. Booyah. No, it didn't. Unfortunately, there really wasn't any video footage, but it was a good time. Like David said, after the week that you guys have had, it's time for some range therapy. Yes. And for that, David and Bunky, I really appreciate it, because I'm pretty sure from, well, there was some discussion about Shelby at breakfast, but from breakfast on to the last round was fired and we got home, at least there was some moments of peace in my brain. Of course, when you come home and open the door, you expect to be greeted the exact same way you've been greeted for the last decade, and that didn't happen. The Man Mosh Pit IPA. Where am I going to put a hazy IPA? Where do I put this on the E scale? I'm going to give this a 7.5. Okay, I'm going to go put the firearms away. This surprise, actually has taken the role as the carry gun, being that the 1066 got to stay with Dusty. So, again, if you need any gunsmithing, Dead On. If you want some laser stippling, some specific pattern, get in contact with Dead On. The link will be right in the description box. Otherwise, we will see you. I don't know how tomorrow's going to shake out weather-wise. So I don't know how late I'm working, but we'll see you guys as soon as possible. Cheers, and as always, thank you guys. You are my own fucked up therapy.